Are we live? We're live, rolling.
We're live, baby. We're live.
Welcome in everybody to a impromptu Ryan Ripken show. Busy day here at Radio Row. Having everything actually working today, Zach. Apparently, it was the easiest fix.
Yeah,
it really was. That something got unplugged down the line, and all of a sudden, whammy, we were out of business. But now we're back in business. As you guys can see, a lot of people going back and forth. Radio Row is starting to pick up, and the reason why we're going live right now, Zach, is because we're going to sit down with Brian Billick in about 4 minutes. Former Raven head coach, Super Bowl winning coach, also a golf enthusiast. So it's phenomenal. So I'm excited of that. We're going to sit down with him. And then at 9:45, we got Charlie Batch, former Pittsburgh Steeler, talk about the games and specifically what's going on with his foundation. Friend of the show, friend of the program, Shawn Merriman's going to join us at 10:45 today. And then we got a little bit of a break, and then we're going right back to guests in the afternoon that are at least lined up for the moment. And then, as always, there's a lot of things and hoopla that happen in between. So far, so good. We're going all right?
Yeah, so far, so good. It's looking, let's see. Yeah, we have power. People are hype. People are hype. We are as well.
Power. I'll tell you what, maybe because everything's moving and grooving and we had to chug. You had to chug your energy drink this morning. I had to get my coffee rocking and rolling. I was exhausted last night, but the energy around being here, it's a really, really great experience and eye-opening in a lot of different ways, you know? So this is a fantastic time. Appreciate you guys tuning in. And I'm also, you know, I always am able to like look at a laptop or see what's going on. So I'm blankly staring, hoping you guys are having a great day.
Actually, we've got a pretty good chat going right now.
Chat going? I'm trying to log in so I can see it.
Joe's asking he had to chug his energy drink. Also, just for everyone, we haven't set up the third camera over here. We're just trying to get these things. So I will be on camera eventually. Just
maybe not.
Patience, everyone. Patience. Okay.
Yes.
Yes, Joe, I had to chug my energy drink. I bought the energy drink. Literally, we got in the car and suddenly I was like, this energy drink seems lighter than it was 5 seconds ago.
Yeah.
And it was leaking out of the bottom. So I had to chug the energy drink and just we move, baby. We move.
Yeah, it was an experience. But I'll tell you what, so far so good down here in New Orleans. Got to see the media party last night. That was a great kickoff. A lot of fun. And then now it's just going to rock and roll as we continue on and the days get closer and closer to the Super Bowl. It gets busier and busier here. And that's where we're kind of seeing that there more and more people are trickling in by the second, by the minute. I don't know, but it's a very relaxing thing. We got one of the gravity chairs. So in between the show, I might just pop that out here and just relax. I might just do that live.
The gravity chair is nice.
Amazing. It's amazing here. And a lot of familiar faces that we've seen, some unfamiliar, and a lot of great friends. I got to tell you, our friends over there in El Paso I got to go say what's up to them. They were super helpful, super friendly. And that's really a lot of these people here is a lot of people that are down here getting to mingle and the network and connect. And that's what it's all about here. But we're also down here to see what we can bring to you guys. Last night, it was a little bit after dark, Rip After Dark, talking about our experience. Today, it's going to be more specific on some things that are going on here with Super Bowl weekend beyond. Especially, I want to know what Brian Billick's doing down here. You know,
I do too.
No, he told me. I know he's promoting a few things, so we'll ask him about it. But I also want to know about where the love for golf, you know, where he ranks his game, what's happening, because he says he is hooked, he's obsessed. And I think he knows a thing or two about winning a Super Bowl. I think that's
a thing or two.
And also we had all those videos and highlights that popped up from a week or two ago on this day showing it. So it was all good to see. But appreciate you guys new to the channel. Hit that like and subscribe button. Radio Row, hanging out. Take a deep breath. Take it all in.
It's chaos. We're at that part of the morning where that's going to be something we got to deal with.
What happened?
We go. No, just
we're back.
Yeah, we're back. Just this.
No touchy.
Yeah, no touchy on that wire. It's one of those things where, as I'm looking around, obviously yesterday we got in here about 12:30ish.
Mm-hmm.
So we kind of walked in during the hurricane. Like, you know, we were in the eye of the hurricane. got here early. We were some of the first people here. There were some people, though. I mean, we walked in at exactly 8 o'clock, and there were some people who have been rolling for a minute already on some live shows, especially radio over here. So it's over the past like 30 minutes. It is really starting to ramp up, and you can feel the energy in this place. Just it's getting there. Pat McAfee should be behind us, I would assume, in the next hour or two. So
they usually go live around noon, right? So it is only still 9:16 this time, Zach.
Oh, your computer has not changed its time, and it said 10:16, and that's why I was like, what is so? Yeah, so 2 hours because he'll go live 11.
Constantly testing you to make sure
he'll be live 11 this time, so I'm not completely wrong.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. But it is things are continuing to progress. Honestly, even more and more groups that are coming in. And we know that usually as you get closer to the week on Thursday, Friday, things really start to pick up here. Talked to a couple people that we're going to connect later in the week here. Honestly, though, just kind of those experiences. We had a lot of people that were talking ball with, baseball. A lot of people want to talk baseball, Zach, and I know we're close. We are, I guess spring training's next week, huh? Spring training's 1 week away here. So we're going to talk a lot of baseball here, and we have some baseball people that will be here throughout. So I'm sure we'll get a little baseball fix. But in the meantime, we're going to be able to continue and get our football fix. And right now, we're waiting, hanging out. Should have Brian Billick joining us, Charlie Batch, former Pittsburgh Steeler for a decade, by the way.
That's crazy to be that is dedication. That's love for the game. To be just a backup quarterback and won 2 Super Bowls.
They do make the argument that being a backup quarterback can be one of the best jobs if you're actually good enough to be in the NFL.
Yeah.
And you're on a team that needs a good one.
Yeah.
Also, it's very easy to get distracted in here too.
So easy. There's just a million different things.
Or if you like to people watch, you'll see a lot of it. No doubt about it.
We got Oriole fan Jackson Payne walking in the back right now. How's it going?
Yeah, we're on the air right now.
How's it going?
He's right behind you.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Well, yeah. So
that might give you an indication.
There we go.
Yeah. So while Ryan shakes hands and kisses babies, I'll just kind of.
All right.
Ready to rock and roll?
How much time you got?
How are you feeling?
I am feeling great.
And if you're again, do you want me to? I can move the mic over a little bit. We're still good. Yeah. Boom.
Yep.
Perfect. So first off, for those at least in the Baltimore region know you personally, but if not, introductions. Brian Billick, Super Bowl winning quarterback. Or quarterback. Coach.
I wish I was a Super Bowl winning quarterback. I needed a Super Bowl. I did have one Super Bowl winning quarterback.
Yeah. Well, there it was. Well, hey, Brian, great to see you. We were catching up a little bit.
Yeah.
No longer a Baltimore resident. We were figuring out you were out in the valley with me growing up. It's a good place to be.
Loved it.
So before we get into everything, but let me know why you're down here initially. I meant to ask.
You know what? I'm part of an ownership in X-Tech Pads. We've been at it for 13 years. We're the number 1 pad in pro football. 90% of players in pro football. The majority of players on both these teams are in X-Tech Pads. Number 1 in major college, major high school. And the thing I'm most excited about is we've now worked down into the youth pad. I have 2 grandsons, and this is the pads that our young people need to be wearing. In the old days, like everything, it's technology driven.
Yeah.
In the old days, it was big guys wore big pads, little guys wore little pads. And the idea was the bigger the pad, the more protection, which is obviously a fallacy. This is now with the AI-driven technology of these pads are basically fitted for you based on your height, your weight, your age, your injury history, your position, because it's isolated and targeted protection the way it should be. Like all technology, it has improved that, and X-Tech Pads is at the forefront of that.
I love that, and especially, I know that people always worry, and everyone's younger kids, that's the biggest concern, but the game's so popular. And don't you want to know that you have the right thing that's going to help you? I think that's the biggest thing.
One of the biggest things I'm asked, and I've got grandsons, 12 and 9, and another one just recently born, and they love the game. And I'm asked, do you want your grandkids to play football? With all the talk about CTE and the concussions. And my pat answer as a grandfather and as a coach for better than 50 years is, do I want them to play football? No. And I don't want them to drive. I don't want them to ski. I don't want them to ever date. I don't want them to cross the street, right? You got to let them follow their passions. But you're exactly right. Even more so now that it's my grandsons, the protection, because what? We got to take the head out of the game, but you got to protect them because it is a very physical game. So many great lessons learned on the field or the courts or the diamonds that you don't learn anyplace else. So they got to follow their passion, but you got to get them protected. And particularly seeing what my grandsons were wearing, there's no comparison. There's no one can look at what, particularly in the youth level, even in the high school, and look at the pads that they're currently wearing, touch and feel and look at the X-Tech pads, you immediately will know, I got to get a pair of those.
May I?
Yeah.
There we go. This is so, and again, what I love about this is you're passionate about it, number one. That's the most important thing. But secondly, when people are like you having skin in the game, you just mentioned your grandkids.
Right.
And your thing, it's not that you're doing this as a ploy. You're looking at it, well, I know that I have family. I have my loved ones that want to play this game, and you have invested the time to make it as safe as possible. And
I'm not trying to oversell here, but looking at the pads that my grandsons are wearing.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm so thrilled about that, because I came very close to saying, no, I'm not going to let them play. I'm not going to let them go onto a field with that pad that's available to them now.
Right.
Now, I obviously caved in, and the fact that at the age and what they're doing, I realized that the collisions were a little more manageable, but there is no just the design, the levers, the shoulder protection, the foaming itself. I mean, it's like everything. Technology has taken over and advanced us, and so far, this is the ultimate advancement in protection for our players in a game that is very, very physical and violent.
It is. Even though they have changed from the years, it's not maybe the same as your teams when you were coaching back in the day. But the same thing, it's still it's a physical sport. Now I'm curious. I mean, if a guy like Ray Lewis is hitting you still, that's still going to hurt regardless.
Oh yeah, that's just it. The impact in this game is very, very real. So you've got to do everything you can to mitigate because it is a great game. And the physicality of the game is what draws us to it.
Yeah.
Particularly watching my grandsons now, because obviously my perspective, finishing the NFL and all those years of coaching ball, and looking at it a little bit for different perspective now as a grandparent, looking at it and watching the growth of them in the game.
Yeah.
Learning the physicality, learning how to hit, because that's not a natural instinct for a human being, is to go smash into one another.
No, I can't say it is.
But to learn how to manage that process.
Right.
And to use all the technologies, whether it's the fabric in the jerseys, the helmet technology that is taking over. Same way. The helmet used to be, let's get the biggest helmet we can on a player and heaviest, because that's where the protection comes from. Well, no, it wasn't. In fact, it caused a lot of injuries. Now it's much more targeted protection in the way that the shelling gives way and some of the padding. And there's a lot of different approaches that people are looking at in the helmet to make sure that, where can we put the best protection based on where the impact comes and what happens. It's exactly what, and we are AI driven with 13 years of data now to tell us how to best change and fit these based on the athlete that gives them the optimum protection.
Are you running a seminar on like Brian Billick, health and safety 101 for people? Because I could hear you probably go down a Rolodex of this down the road.
I just turned 71. And
happy belated birthday.
Well, I appreciate that. And like everybody that reaches that certain age, you look back in terms of the decisions you made, in terms of taking care of yourself. And we all, make good decisions and bad decisions. But now going forward for me, very much focused on not lifespan, but health span.
Yeah.
How healthy can I stay? And what do I need to do to maximize to whenever that day is that I shuffle off this mortal coil? How do I maximize and keep that delta upwards to where I can enjoy life and maximize my health to that point? And as usual, it comes down to diet, right? Exercise. There's no avoiding those two. And that marriage of this is what I can do best to what I put in my body and how and it goes part and parcel with, and what are the things I can surround myself with to to optimize that, like the shoulder pads for the young people.
Hey, you got to continue to learn, no matter what the age is. You got to continue to evolve
constantly.
It is constantly.
Remember your dad and I remember the day in the old school. It was, well, don't give them water. We're going to make them tough.
Yeah.
We're not going to give them water break during practice. Well, that's a lawsuit today.
Oh, there's a lot of issues there.
Because you realize that's not a smart thing to do. You're putting and the data that we're getting, you recognize very readily.
Water. Yes.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah.
There's a better way to prepare the players for the physical demands.
Yeah, it is very funny. Hey, you want water? Don't like it, play better. That was kind of the mentality
that's
there.
Right. You're going to earn it.
I remember growing up even too for injuries, even for that, and it was more looked at in the sport. I would say baseball is a little bit less physically demanding. Not that it isn't. For those that don't say baseball players or athletes, we're going to have a problem. We'll have a talk about that in the future. But the going out there to play, and sometimes the guys was, oh, you okay? Well, can you go out there and can you make the moves that you can? Good. You're going to be out there. Right. Everything has changed overall. I mean, heck, back in the 2000s teams, right? I'm sure you had a hell of a lot of players that, needless to say, could have sat out, might have been more banged up, but it was a different situation back then, different mentality, but different regulations too. Sure. Health and situation wise, the defense that you had back in 2000, 2001, they might all be suspended for 7 years.
Now,
at this point.
Rules, I think baseball is a perfect example of, it's not as physical as football, but the number of games you play and the wear and tear on the joints that now people have learned, the way we prepare and practice.
Yeah.
The way you stress the joints, how much. That's the biggest thing in football right now is the way you prepare the players in practice with all the analytics and the heart monitors and whatever to say, how do I optimize the time that we do use? Because the old day of, we're just going to go out and practice for 3 hours. We're going to outwork our opponent.
Yeah.
No, that's counterproductive. You're breaking down the body unduly. And so baseball is a perfect example of they've become more educated about how do I maximize the different unique type of strain on the body that presents compared to, say, football.
Oh, for sure. And then even baseball, they've worked on their analytics, and they've become very analytical on so many things, from the pitch to the swing. And I'll tell you what, the amount of swings that I'm holding my oblique as I say this, because I still remember I pulled my Brian oblique so bad in 2019. Those constant movements, when you think about it, I wasn't just having hundreds of swings. I was taking thousands and thousands of swings before then I'd even get ready to play a 140 to 160 game season. And not to mention then if you had to make certain plays, I wasn't known for speed. So I can't really say that was the thing for me. But
listening to you, and we talked about earlier that when I last saw your dad, he was just getting into golf.
Yeah.
I have since become addicted to the sport.
And about that with golf, by the way, rank your golf game at the moment.
Oh my God!
What is Brian Billick's strength on the golf?
I'd love to visit with your dad because obviously such a supreme athlete with great hands. But in listening, you talk about your dad. You talk about the preparation. I sound very much like your dad in that. Well, I'm just going to go out on the driving range and hit for 4 hours.
Yeah,
because you just grind through getting your Malcolm Gladwell's 10,000 hours, right? And I'm going to grind through that.
Yeah.
That's a counterproductive way to be. You've got to be much more. I'm learning that you've got to be much more targeted because I love it. I love going out on the range. I love playing. But to improve my game, I have to be much more targeted with what it is that what is it my backswing? Is it my follow through? Is the positioning the ball? Much more targeted and fewer reps because you're right. All of a sudden now, you start affecting your joints and you're not as good. So I imagine your dad and I are similar in that regard in that I'm evolving in terms of a much more targeted use of my time in perfecting my
efficiency.
Game. Exactly right.
But I will say you put so much time and effort in and you're very analytical and you're very focused. Without getting a chance to talk to you more, I could already tell because I've heard this in my mind before for the last 31 years.
Yeah.
But because of how you even talked about the product here. On coaching wise, then how do you obviously that's a little bit more second nature to you in this case. I mean, I got to ask you then, if we're talking so analytics and you're trying to, the players got to go and perform. I still look back, and I think it's undervalued with coaches, is the way to be able to motivate a certain group and to be able to steer the ship, so to speak. I feel like there's that video that pops up. You said a few words after the Titans victory that, you know, might have been something around F the Titans, which, oh my goodness, that got out in the open. But
accurately conveyed the sentiment and when the message I was trying to get across, you know.
But message received. And
Absolutely.
I think that's the part with coaching that I was kind of drawing to.
I do a lot of corporate speaking now, which I enjoy because I get around companies and because they're always wanting to talk about, well, how do I build this how do I build this band of brothers? How do I lead?
Yeah.
And I've come to recognize through my experiences and obviously in visiting with a number of companies now, at the end of the day, as a leader,
yeah,
and if you are viewed that way, at the end of the day, you're really more of a manager.
Yeah.
About 80%, as a head coach in the NFL, I will tell you that about 80% of your job is managing.
Yeah.
The who, what, when, where. How are we going to do this? What are we going to do? The sheer quantitative analytics of the sheer procedure.
Yeah.
About 20% of it, though, is where, and that to me separates the difference from the good coaches and the bad coaches, is those that can grasp about that 20% of the time. No, you do need to lead. You need to show them the way. You need to make sure they understand the bigger picture. You need to tie the dots together for them because a lot of times they won't see that. That's really what leading is to me.
Yeah.
The old motivational, you know, I'm going to fire you up. Yeah, okay, yeah, that certainly has a certain value to it to make that connection emotionally, but it is really more at a personal, not an emotionally, at an intellectual level as well, but almost on a spiritual level of, well, why are you doing this? And can I get you to understand the connection between what you're doing and the greater good, the prime objective of what we are trying to get done here?
Right.
To make that, I've been so fortunate in my career to work with 17 Hall of Famers.
17, wow.
And all very different personality, obviously varying, great talents, but varying in talents and the way they applied them, different positions. But to a man, the one commonality was their understanding of where they needed to fit in and what needed to go on around them organization in a team sport.
Yeah.
And how they need the players, they need the coaching.
Yeah.
And every single one of them to a man understood what I could bring to the table and how he had to buy into that.
Yeah.
If we are collectively, you can be good at a Hall of Fame level and that's great.
Yeah.
But if you collectively want to win, you got to buy in to what we're doing collectively and then help me sell it.
Is there anyone, I mean, you mentioned the Hall of Famers, but for all these teams and there's these unsung people, did you have one of those guys that fit that mentality? You know, like the Super Bowl year, was there someone else that fit the exact mentality that you talked about?
Well, and by de facto, the fact that obviously you're best players, because at the end of the day, leadership for the most part will stem from productivity on the field. You can have guys with dynamic personalities but if they can't deliver on the field, that's what the players gravitate to. That's what Ray Lewis is maybe one of the individually greatest leaders I've ever been around, because he lived it every day. What you saw on Sunday, that passion for the game and that focus was every single day.
Right.
So when you have someone like that is in the front of the room on Wednesday morning when you're installing a game plan, book open, highlighter at the ready, first guy on the practice field, last one off, grabbing other guys, hey, come on, let's go work out after practice. Let's get in the weight room. That type of leadership, recognizing that I need these people around me to be good.
Yeah.
It's not just me by myself. That's where that real leadership, when you've got those types of guys, and then you do have some players, again, because of productivity, a player that I always go back to, Kelly Gregg.
Yeah.
You know, Kelly Gregg came to us, and I remember coming out of practice, and it was during the early part of the season. I see this little guy, and I'm going, well, what coach is paying back a favor here? Who is this guy, and why is he here? And Rex Ryan had brought him in. He was familiar with him at his time in Oklahoma.
Right.
And Kelly didn't have the physical stature at first glance, thinking, well, what's this guy going to do? But you talk about having unique physical abilities, the leverage, the strength, the passion, the want, the desire, that you recognize very quickly, he became an integral leader on our team just because of his passion for the game, his willingness to do whatever it is needed to be done, and the fact that he was productive. No, he wasn't as vocal or as high profile as a Ray Lewis or a Shannon Sharp.
Yeah.
But he became one of the leaders on the team that I knew the younger players would see and say, okay, if I want to be good, I need to act more like this guy.
Yeah. So there's different variations. It's leading by example. Then there's also the leading by example with productivity, and then being able to go out there and motivate, but also your skills speak for themselves. I got to get you going here in a second, Brian, but do you have any final memories? Since we're back at Super Bowl, is there anything behind the scenes that you remembered from the Super Bowl that stuck out? You also had some sound bites, but before I let you go there, what you got?
The biggest thing when I think back on that, and we just had that 30 for 30 that went back.
Yep.
They did a phenomenal job.
Yep.
In looking back on that, because that truly was, I mean, you get to a Super Bowl alone, it sets you aside as being very special team in that era. That was truly a unique team in terms of low expectation. We hadn't had a winning season since the inception when the organization came. So the expectations going into the season, the disparity between how good we were on offense versus defense, which really forced the players to buy into each other collectively.
Yeah.
Because the NFL, like any professional league, is one where you can turn on each other in a minute when one side of the ball is performing at a certain level compared to the other.
Right.
But the way that team coalesced around, particularly the early part of the season, when we had a tough stretch in October, where we lost 4 out of 5 games, didn't score an offensive touchdown the month of October.
And that was a fun time.
Great time. Yeah, let me tell you. But I will tell you this. That team stuck together a lot because of the leadership of the Rod Woodsons and the Ray Lewises and the Jonathan Ogdens and the Trent Dilfers and the Shannon Sharps. That team stuck together so that when we came out of that difficulty, we were invincible. It's like, hey, we've stood at the abyss.
Right.
We've faced it all. So that team, whatever challenge presented itself on the remaining 11 games, when we made that run all the way to the Super Bowl and won it, they knew they could do that collectively. So it just that relationship and watching that evolve is what I think about most about that team.
Hey, I'm going to go back and watch 30 for 30. I'm going to go back and watch your sound bites.
Yes, sir. Worth
the FD Titans part right there.
Make sure the children aren't in the room.
Well, you know what? They can learn a thing or two at mentality, right? But again, xtechpads.com. We're going to put this all out so people can see it. But Brian, appreciate it. Thank you.
Good seeing you. All right, man. You say hello to your dad for me. I appreciate it. Thank you.
This is my favorite part of the program. Just to let everyone know,
give me 1 second.
Yeah, Ryan's going to go do his thing. Actually, screw it. I'm going to just go over there and talk to the people.
All right, what's up, guys? So I went to be on camera while I was talking about this. This is legitimately like one of the biggest like who's I've ever participated in. Like, I don't know if you guys noticed, but behind us for like 10 minutes of the interview, I also can't see the comment section. If this is actually a shit show right now and you can't hear me, my bad. I don't know if you guys noticed, but Chris Canty was standing behind us, and during that interview for like 5 minutes, Trey Wingo walked by. I actually just saw Cam Jordan. Cam Jordan's right up there. Ryan, am I on screen right now?
Yep, you're on.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah, Cam Jordan's over there right now, starting up with ESPN Radio. Michael Penix was actually just there a few minutes ago. He lives in that do-rag. I've never seen him take it off. Pat McAfee show. I haven't seen any movement from them yet. CBS Sports is starting to get it going. I haven't gone down to Sirius XM yet, but this is a who's who around. There is so much buzz right now.
We got Charlie Batch joining us in 5 minutes.
Yeah, Charlie Batch is joining us in 5 minutes. Former backup, 2-time Super Bowl champion, unfortunately with the Pittsburgh Steelers. I won't say unfortunately while he's here, but while he's not, unfortunately.
Do we want to? Sorry, you're on the screen right now, but yeah. I'm going to. We got Charlie joining us in 5 minutes, rocking and rolling. Everyone can still hear.
Yeah, look,
me?
at least no one said it yet. Oh, the Altoids.
Yeah, get an Altoid in you. Let me. I'm gonna. Might rotate. Well, actually, you can be on the screen with me until. Let's switch sides.
Yeah, well, then there's no one to control it. So you get here, you talk, and then I'm just going to talk back to you. I just want someone on the screen.
Talk back to me. And everyone, appreciate you guys for being here. Can you guys hear me okay still?
Yep, we're
Beautiful.
good. Everyone's
I'm just
saying
making
loud
sure
and
we got.
clear.
So we got Charlie Batch, former Super Bowl champion with the
Laura says Charlie Batch, Rocco's hero. Laura, you will never guess who booked this one.
But it actually is.
It literally was Rocco who texted us and was like, "Hey guys, I got Charlie Batch if you want him." We're like, "Hell yeah!"
And again, also for everyone with Brian, we have this whole sheet with X-Tech pads, and I kid you not, when we talk about these things, and it's such a talked about subject with kids and player safety. It's a physical game, but no matter what you do is physical. You follow your passions, you follow what you want to do, and in that case specifically, you want to try to put yourself in the best position. And that's something with Brian. What I love is that when you have even skin in the game, it makes you want to do even more to help. It's not just someone that say, "Hey, well, I was involved with the games. I think I can make better technology." Well, yes, you can make better technology, but on top of it, you can go out there and make a difference. What am I doing?
I'm just hoping Cam Jordan walks by in the background right here because he's promoting something as he goes walk straight.
Rocco wants
you guys can see Cam Jordan is the massive human being in red behind Ryan right now.
What gives that away? Is it the camera or is it the physical prowess?
that he looks like he could walk on the field right now and without pads and get 15 sacks for us? Yeah. I was really hoping he was actually going to walk over here, but we have Charlie Batch coming on.
Oh, man, I'm excited. If you're new to the channel, hit that like and subscribe button. Have you tagged the video yet?
Yes. No.
No, we haven't.
Actually, let me check. Did we?
You dog.
There's probably a very good chance it is not.
And also what I love with having Charlie join as well, and for him, he's down here promoting his foundation, the Best of the Batch. So he'll join us here in the next 3 minutes, which would be great. But what I also love, what I'm curious about, and I love that Brian talked about this, and Zach, I get very specific why I ask certain questions, because at the end of the day, for a head coach, you got to lead men. You got to be able to help them figure out how to get to that kind of quote-unquote finish line. And Brian uses it as saying 20%. 20% of your job as a coach is to make sure how can you keep those guys in line and how can you get them kind of motivated. And also the leadership component. I mean, the Kelly Gregg story was phenomenal. We know about Ray Lewis. But those moments right there is what builds the team, chemistry, culture, and having then your best players have that leadership component. Or then you can lead by example. That's not with the speeches that Ray had or Brian had. I love the sound bites, by the way.
I was going to say, I think my favorite thing
time
from that so far is without a doubt the fact that we brought up the F the Titans, and he doesn't. He's like, yeah, no, the sentiment got across. He's like, that was exactly
safe to say it got across, but that's sometimes what people need. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's words, sometimes it's you got to just go to work on the practice field. And I think that's the beauty of every situation here is each team has a different backbone of how they get where they want to get, but each team also has the significance of being able to go out there and not only you got to play at a high level, but there's a chemistry, there's a bond there that happens. Hey, Jack.
Yeah, we're
live right now, Hanger. But how you doing?
You
we got
yeah.
How was
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Coach.
sit down.
We got what?
How was Coach?
No, he's great.
Yeah.
Great. We talked about the great sentiments that help the team win games. X-Tech pads. He also very detailed there, and we talked about how detailed he is on the golf course.
Really?
We got Charlie Batch, Rocco's hero, joining us here in a little bit, and because we were talking about like leadership of coaches, leader of men, and all that. But enough about me. What are you up to right now?
I'm moving to Florida in a week.
What?
Yeah.
What? Congrats.
Super Bowl. Yeah. Big news. What else? We're playing some trivia. You're gonna come by later?
Yeah. What's your schedule today over there at Snapback Sports?
We're kind of like free flowing.
Beautiful.
Like we got a couple people scheduled, but then it's like pull up and show up, you know?
I love it.
Now that did lead to quite the backup yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had like no one, and then we had like 5 people waiting to play. So maybe we should get people scheduled in, but yeah, we just like to, you know, let it rock.
We'll do that.
What would be your best trivia? Like, what do you
Am I
think you
making
could
a
win?
question?
No. It's like we do it for speed. So it's like, remember this Ravens player. And then you got to name the player first. Like that, we would dust you. Like you stand no chance.
Okay, so one thing. Might win in that. Well, I also, not for trivia, but we have Gridiron Golf here. I'm going to roll this puppy out. We can see if you want to actually get to that. It's not trivia.
Hey, I said I'm moving to Florida. I didn't say I'm Floridian yet. But yeah, I'm ready to compete today.
I think we need to compete. I think that's the biggest part of all this right now.
Radio Row, you got to compete, I will say. Great vibes today.
Incredible.
You guys were here at the end of the day, but Tuesday a little slow. Today, energy off the charts.
Yeah, and you can just tell.
Perfect.
All right, I'm about to start my lap.
And we got to kick you off for a minute.
All good.
I'll come get you.
Awesome. So we are actually Charlie Batch is joining us right now, which is gonna be an awesome time.
Let's do it. Perfect. Yeah, got the notes.
You just say, "Hey, Foundation."
Perfect. I got it. So we're on right now with Charlie Batch, and I did realize because I did some homework on it, but how long you played, and then specifically how long you played with Pittsburgh, and but specifically you're here for the Best Batch Foundation, your foundation. So I want to start off with that. Talk a little bit more about what you got going on and what you're doing with your foundation.
Yeah, the name of the foundation is Best of the Batch Foundation, and we're an educational foundation, and we focus on our STEAM programs and our after-school programs. We say STEAM instead of STEM because we include the A for arts. But we serve 3,800 kids annually in 9 counties throughout southwestern PA. So we run 13 different programs, educational programs, and then ultimately this past April, we went from 5,300 square feet to 33,000 square feet. So the kids are excited, you know, so that when they come in the building, they don't want to leave, which is why we built the building. So we're excited about what we've accomplished over the last 25 years. We have great supporters, great partners, and we are truly grateful and we're humbled by all the support that we have received. And we look forward to working with people. We love to collaborate because we don't do all things well. And with that opportunity, you know, for anybody who wants to learn more information about what we're doing, they can go to batchfoundation.org, see all the programs that we're doing from that particular manner. And we would love to collaborate at some point.
And that's the best place also if people want to donate as well. Go to the website.
Yes, you go to the website, see all of our programs that we run, and all the information is on the site.
Perfect. Zach, we're to write that down as well. We're also just going to continue to promote this and put it out where people can find it. And I love what you're doing because also so my family, Cal Senior Foundation back in Baltimore, and different things where obviously it was baseball related, but they did start STEM programs in schools. And the bigger message here with everything, helping the next generation. Right. I think I love the most of this. I was smiling, but I also was like, holy shirts and pants, man. 5,300 to 33,000 square feet. That's amazing.
And I appreciate it. And I get excited because I've learned a lot about what you all are doing because you had a former NFLPA member, Amanda Shank, that was there. Now, you know, I don't know if she's still there in that particular role.
I gotta check my notes on that one, but you're right.
But
yes.
she was there. She was there, and it was exciting to kind of follow that. But ultimately, you know, what we're trying to do, you know, get sports is that low hanging fruit, right?
Yeah.
You know, you get them and drive in, and then from there you can promote whatever you're trying to promote, and that's what we do. Low hanging fruit. Here's education behind it. Yeah. And another thing we try to do is try to incorporate baseball, you know, into that. And I say that not because I'm sitting here, is because in my hometown of Homestead, Pennsylvania, which is 15 minutes east of downtown Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Homestead Grays, Pittsburgh Prof that they played on is right there. So when you talk about Josh Gibson, all the historical moments that happened in that field.
Right
so
there.
it's like we want our kids to be a part of it and play then. It becomes expensive, right? So it ultimately you try to get them excited at a young age that they continue to do that. So that's something that we're looking to do. So again, if there's ways to collaborate, we'd love to do that.
Yeah, honestly, and I'll talk to Angela more because I think there's a lot of synergy there for sure. And where I was about to go with the Zach, I had a great point to wrap this all together, and I love when this happens. I know
that's because I cut you off, and I apologize.
Oh no, why are you apologizing? You're on here talking about this, and it's helping everyone. This was the part, and it comes back just like that. Sports is a great tool, and it's fun, it's exciting, whatever you do. We had Brian Billick on. I know you were familiar when facing off against the Ravens. But Brian with X-Tech pads that he had coming on, and it was about the next generation. And also the bigger thing is sports creates so many opportunities that help kids learn, and then it can lead to other things. And I think that's the part what I love, and that's exactly what you're doing. And again, thanks for buttering me up with baseball. That is my side of it. So playing to the audience here.
Well, it's easy when it's the truth, right? That's all we're doing is speaking facts.
I like him a lot.
And real quick,
I didn't tell him to say that either.
To everyone in the chat, had a few people asking where they could donate, so we just put the link in there, so it's in the chat if you would like to go donate now.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Of course. Thank you.
So how is all of this? I mean, this is kind of foreign to me. I'm used to the baseball side of things, but walk me through like what a Super Bowl week is like in general.
Yeah. Now, from a fan perspective or player perspective, right? There's two different ways.
How about we go both, because you have both experiences.
Right. So I'll take it from the player because
please
be there. Because when you get here, right, and this is why the bye week is important, right?
Yeah.
Because bye week, you're at home, you're making sure ticket requests, all that stuff is handled. But by the time you get there on the Wednesday, you're putting your game plan together, right? 90% of the game plan is already in.
Yeah.
Then you prepare to travel. You get down here. Then you now are home away from home, understanding, familiarize yourself with the amenities that you have.
Yeah.
But also making sure that, hey, let's not shy away from the fact of who we are. We are here for the Super Bowl.
Damn
We're
right
gonna
you
win.
are. Yeah.
So, now you're putting all that behind. Monday and Tuesday, you get your media out the way. When you get on Wednesday, from there, now you're preparing for a game. The message at that particular point, focus on Wednesday and Thursday, get the game plan. Your family comes in on Friday, get a chance to have dinner with them Saturday. You're preparing for the day of game.
Yep.
The message is handle your business today and we can party the rest of the next 6 months. If you don't, you're frustrated and wondering what happened over the next 6 months. So that's where you now balance it from that perspective. Having the opportunity 3 times to be in this game, winning it twice, great time. It's a great party atmosphere if you win.
Oh, I'm sure. It's a party. It's a party.
No
for
doubt.
sure.
And of course, getting those rings, that's just tops it off. And it closes what you accomplished the year before as you focus onto the new season. But then when you roll into the the fan side of it, right? You get down here, media day has grown tremendously as far as where it was years ago to here.
Yeah.
Just even Radio Road, that's what it used to be called. Now it's Media Road because there's so many different ways for you to share your message out
For
here.
sure.
So you get a chance to talk about it, And again, it's just a matter of what you're coming down with, right? Because if you're looking to do business in the NFL, this is the place to be for the week.
Yeah.
Everybody is all in here for this particular week versus Combine, right?
Yeah.
Combine completely different in Indianapolis. But here, get your opportunity to network, grow. What are you looking to do? Talk about things that can prepare you for 2025 as you close the 2024 season out. So again, it's just a matter of if you're looking at whatever you're looking to do, especially working in the NFL, these are things that you want to be a part of, and this is the place that you need to be a part of. Now, you can also have fun and do some parties or whatever, but again, don't burn a candle on both ends if you're trying to handle your business
Zach,
and not showing up
and
showing up to these meetings bright early in the morning and missing these opportunities.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you can work hard. If you want to work hard, you can play hard, but you got to make sure emphasis on the work. That's
Absolutely.
what you're here to do first and foremost.
Absolutely.
Whatever you're doing. I'm curious. You got 3 or 4 more minutes with you, and I know you got to run around. What was fascinating to me because we had Brian Billick on talking about, and I'm big on with culture and leadership, and yes, there's more to that. You got to go out and execute, right? That's your responsibility. You had a chance with 2 legendary coaches yourself, Cowher, Tomlin. What is something specifically that you notice a difference with how they get their messaging to the players? Because both of them had a tremendous success.
Absolutely.
But can you maybe differentiate what makes them so special? And Tomlin gets a lot of recently gets a lot of hate on that. But I'm sitting there, I'm like, dude, the guys love him. The players fight for him. There's nothing that changes there. But I just want, if you don't mind, just explaining that real quickly on their leadership style.
Yeah, and I think when you come in, it starts with your messaging, right? You got to come in, you got to be able to command the room. Your message has to be clear, concise, understanding what the vision is and being able to now execute it. Working with Coach Cowher, big fan of him, obviously, because I grew up in Pittsburgh when he was named the coach, and then having the opportunity to play for him for 5 seasons, and then winning that Lombardi Trophy. And it's one of those things to where he doesn't shy away from hard conversations, right? This is what it is. Here's the expectations. We're all in it for one reason and one reason only, to win the Lombardi Trophy. And being able to do that, fantastic. But now I caught him at the end of his career, right? Year 11 through 15. Then you deal with Mike Tomlin, and all of a sudden with Mike Tomlin, you're like, oh, wow, this is a young guy. We're an older team. And yet he's trying to now put his stamp on what he's looking to do moving forward, but also changing the ways what Bill Cowher did. You can see some of those things now. And it was just funny to kind of watch. But again, it started with the messaging, being able to communicate that, and he commanded the room from day one, and he still continues to do that 18 years later.
It's messaging, and it's hard to find that too. I think everyone wants to look, the grass is always greener, or we got to figure something out. It's hard to find someone that players gravitate towards, and then you have success. I understand Pittsburgh has a standard. You guys kept winning so many damn games, breaking people's hearts in Baltimore constantly. There's some great rivalries. Do you have any moments from last thing? Because I gotta let you go. Ravens Steelers moments, even if it's at the Ravens' detriment. Do you have some of your favorite moments from that rivalry?
It's the best rivalry in football, right? Everybody talks about, hey, they hate us, they hate them, but it's a game. You're friends with those guys as well.
It's hard hit. Those games were the most fun to watch growing up.
And that's why every year one of those games is in prime time because the rest of the country wants to watch it, right? So when you have that game, and of course you want to be part of it, when you come over to Pittsburgh, it's like you don't make your moment until you make a play in the Baltimore game. You make that play, people remember you for it.
Yeah.
And you talk about it for years. And in my case, here I am 12 years later, into 2012, I played my last game. I started my last game in Baltimore, M&T Stadium, having the opportunity to go down there. They were 9-2, had a chance to clinch the division, number one seed. They didn't do it, but we went in there and beat them in their house.
Yeah, thanks for that.
And when you do that,
appreciate that, Charlie.
It was cool to be able to do it. And for me, people remember it all of these years later. But for me, the cool moment was that was one of their last losses before they went on and won the Super Bowl. But they had the last laugh that season because they won the Super Bowl. But for me personally, I'm like, hey, you didn't win that game when you had a chance to play.
I love that for you because I know you waited and you made that moment. You're right. The Ravens-Steelers rivalry, people talk about what you do in that game. And side note, we're trying to think about why the Ravens was lining up back in New Orleans 12 years later. But I think the constant that we missed is that they needed to lose to Charlie Batch and the Steelers. And obviously that didn't happen. So that's the reason why the Ravens are in the Super Bowl. That's at least what I'm going to tell myself. Not about that they turned the ball over 3 times in the playoffs. Okay, not going to go down that line. But
it didn't matter. But either way, that was then. But when you look at that team now, Lamar Jackson is the guy for it. And I love everything he brings to the equation. Yeah. And the one big fan, and here's my caveat to Baltimore, right? Todd Monken, offensive coordinator.
Yep.
He was my wide receivers coach at Eastern Michigan in 1995.
So, man, I wish we had more time. As I need
how
to,
far we go back.
Charlie, this is what we're gonna have to do now in the future because I gotta let you go. I need to hear a Todd Monken Eastern Michigan story.
That is my
so
guy.
if you have more time in the future, the more you know. I did not even realize
incredible.
that. This is why
30 years we thought Todd Monken. That's how far me and him go back.
Man, so you know all the good, bad, and the ugly. All good though, right? Nothing bad.
Nothing bad.
Nothing bad.
That is
great
my
stories.
guy. I love him to death, man. And do your thing.
So this is what we're gonna do, Charlie, in the future. Synergy, because love to collaborate, love what you guys are doing. And one more time, the Best of the Batch Foundation.
You can go to batchfoundation.org, and if they forget that, just put Charlie Batch Foundation to take you right to the link.
Perfect. So we're going to do that, and then I need to talk to you again about some Todd Monken stories. So I will talk to Angela, and then we just have a segment on Eastern Michigan and Todd Monken.
There we go.
Okay,
Love it.
Appreciate you, Charlie.
Sound good.
Seriously.
Awesome. That was yeah. 1 second. All right, guys. I'm going to go over to take over that seat.
Yeah. I would love to. One of our guys we work with all the time, Rocco, tell Charlie.
Un momento.
Oh, thank you. So he remembers that. But yeah, I will, this you? Perfect. So I'm going to shoot you a message later. Okay? And enjoy the rest of your day.
Okay, good to see you, sir. Right? Absolutely.
Thank
you.
Good
to see you, sir. All right. No doubt.
Okay, so that was former Steelers, I guess, backup quarterback for 10 years. Also got a few spot starts here and there. And unfortunately, as Ravens fans know, when he did get his opportunities, the man was no slouch. Charlie Batch, thank you for joining the show. Guys, I'm having so much fun here. I'm going to be honest. I'm a kid in the candy store right now. Everywhere I look, there's more people. There's more chaos going on. This is the place to be. I think Jack Selman put it best. The place is humming right now. There is an atmosphere. There's an energy in this room, in this place that you just cannot describe. I think
Yes,
This
it's
is
true.
This is one of those things, and Charlie was incredible. Need to get him back on to hear some Todd Bunkin stories. But we talk about small world, everything, how these guys have known each other for so long, and like all the connections. Sitting there, Charlie's talking, and he's like, "Oh, yeah, we want to talk about a connection I have to the Ravens." He's like, "Yeah, Todd Bunkin, the guy that Ravens fans are enamored with. He gets the extension this year. Everyone's celebrating year 3. Lamar Jackson, potentially 2-time MVP in his 2 years. All started back at with Charlie Batch in Eastern Michigan?
Yeah, Eastern Michigan. You know what I loved here, and I'm behind the scenes now, so you can do this. What I loved with Charlie, one, real, also brought up a painful game at that time in Baltimore. But like the thing that I love, and this is the part of it, I love that guys like that, they wait for their moment. Charlie had to wait for his moment to get to where he wanted to. And then he goes out there and performs and executes. And then the Ravens win the Super Bowl. So Charlie needs to come out of retirement. So
yeah, so he can beat them one time.
Beat them, and the Ravens can win. That's the reason why we're still in this situation. But man, the insight, and also there's just a lot of level of respect. Even though those games were tough, there was a level of respect. And I love the fact that he even said that, to really be recognized and to be remembered for being a Raven or a Steeler is what you do in that game. And I think that was cool. It's the same thing that with all great rivalries, but that was one thing that definitely popped into my mind.
I think unfortunately for us Ravens fans, we remember that game all too well as well. I vividly remember it being, Charlie Batch, Big Ben's out. Charlie Batch is starting. Ravens chance to clinch. This should be the opportunity. Boom, go do it. They would go on to win the Super Bowl, all that. Can't get it done. Any given Sunday. I mean, I like that you pointed that out, Rip. Yes, he was a career backup. He spent 10 years backing up the Steelers. You have to be very damn good at your job to last that long as a backup in the National Football League. You have to be so freaking good at so many different things. You have to be a leader. You have to help prepare the team. You're preparing the other offense. You're doing so much that, you see these young guys come in that maybe have potential, or they get these shots. They become backups, and after 2-3 years, they're out of the league because they're not built to be like that. It takes a certain person, a certain skill set, a certain talent to be able to be a guy for 12 plus years who's a backup in the league. He's grinding every single day. He's preparing. He's making his teammates better. He's being a leader. And that's what Charlie Batch was. So I love getting to talk to these guys. I love hearing their stories, just hearing how they think about the game, how they experienced it. I loved what he said about the Super Bowl. He said, you get caught up in all the fan fest, everything going around. But at the same time, you also have to remind yourself, this is the effing Super Bowl. Like, we win this game, we're celebrating for 6 months. There's a 6-month party if we win this game. So that was one of the coolest things that I love hearing these guys talk about their experiences and everything. I can't see the chat, so I'm assuming if anyone's saying anything, and Ryan is shaking hands, kissing babies at the moment. So a lot of fun stuff going on. Shawn, we should have Shawn Merriman coming on. Oh my gosh. He is now Rocco's very happy about Ryan name dropping him to Charlie Batch. So
Perfect.
We're gonna continue with this. Rip, you want to come over here? Where do you want to?
Yeah, well, I was going to take a moment for I had the sudden extreme urge to use the restroom.
Yeah, go do that.
And just for everyone that's hearing, you could talk about it. We got Shawn Merriman joining us in about 40 minutes.
Yep.
And actually, I'm confirming that real quickly. We're confirmed. So in 40 minutes, Shawn's going to join us here. So can't wait to see him and catch up and see what the hell he's got. That dude runs around a lot.
He
no doubt.
He was over there. I saw him
right
with
back.
Stephen A. with Ocho Cinco yesterday. So talk about a guy that's just running around, and that friend of the program, friend of the show. He's been on 3 times now, I believe. So I'm excited to meet him finally in person. That's going to be the biggest thing in person. Guys, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm kind of hoping that someone just walks by and Rip walks back and I'm just mid talking to somebody. So we'll see what happens. I'm actually currently watching Rip try to navigate out of this place. It's not easy. There's a lot of chaos going on right now. So to navigate around here is we're starting to, for all those wondering, I mean, we're within an hour. We are beginning to get some movement on the Pat McAfee set. So I'm expecting kind of when he comes in here, there's going to be a seismic shift over there. What's Rocco? Rocco's texting us in the group chat as if, I don't know. But here, actually, you know what? I don't know why I didn't think this. I'm going to join from my phone so I can see the chat and we can actually talk about this. So let me real quickly join the chat. So we live. Oh, here we go. Need Pat Mc. Okay, we're back. We are back, baby. Need a Pat McAfee interview if possible. Hey, trust me. Trust me. If there's a possibility for that, I will be doing it. I'm realizing I'm so off center right now. Guys, I'm going to get up and adjust my camera. Okay, so sorry about that, everyone. I had to adjust my camera so I'd be back in the center. And so really, as we just sit here and wait for kind of the chaos to continue to ensue, like I said, Shawn Merriman's going to join us in about 40-ish minutes. After that, we have a few people up in the air, not completely sure what's going to happen there. But it is the energy on this floor right now. The energy here is something that I genuinely can't put into words. It is thousands of people all covering the same stuff, all just talking ball, connecting, making friends. It genuinely is a once in a lifetime opportunity. This is one of the coolest things I've ever been to. Jalen Milroe's going to be here. I'm now seeing that special guest Jalen Milroe today on something. I don't know what Jalen Milroe is joining, but is Kermit available for appearances? I was told no. I already thought maybe me and Mahomes would become boys or something, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen this time. So maybe next year. Maybe the Ravens beat them next year. He'll have some more free time to come hang out. There's someone with a basketball here. I don't know why they have a basketball, but that is where the current situation is. Oh, Ryan's back. So he's walking back. There's just a great. I'm pretty sure a GM is back there. I don't know who it is, but I'm 90% sure that's a GM. Ryan, how we doing?
Oh, we're doing much, much better. Evacuation complete. We are doing good. We are doing good. Should we switch around? Also, maybe Zach, you try to get the third camera popped up. We'll have Shawne joining us in about 30 minutes. Are we just popping Altoids?
Yep. Well,
we also should get the golf. When we step away, we'll get the golf going too. So I appreciate.
So after Shawne, we might step away for a few just to get everything situated. By that time, Brad should be somewhat, I believe, I think by then Brad should be in New Orleans, or oh wait, no, 10:45.
You don't know.
No, I've no clue.
You don't know at all.
Actually,
sorry, just adding a couple things here.
Yeah, if you want to switch when you're done, we can. I'll set up the third camera. Do we want the third camera pointed at?
You can point it at you.
Yeah, and then as we go, we can adjust from there. So
you're a good kid. I don't care what they say about you.
A lot of people say a lot of things, you know.
Bum 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 bum. Cool. Coming back over. You ready? Ready
Yep.
for me?
You right? Let's
You
quit.
ready for this? Ready? 3, 2, 1.
All right. We are back. How's everyone doing here? I think if it's actually a Zach, if you get a second, you can come back and handle this real quickly. Yeah, just come back and be here for a second because I got to do one more thing. I'm also networking here and talking. And so goodbye.
I don't know who he is. Oh. He's going back over to talk to Brian Billick. So you guys are about to see me go through our bag and try to attempt to find where we put this other camera. How's everyone doing though? You know what? We've been talking a lot. Honestly, just how's everyone doing? Rocco, get out of the chat. Yeah, you know what? Bertrand and I agree. Isn't Rocco worse for just one not showing up? No call, no showing the Super Bowl. But then he's in the chat talking crap. I found the camera, everyone, for those wondering. That was bold words coming from a recurring guest. So once Rip finishes talking up with Brian, I'm going to switch up so that we can get this third camera situated, and that'll make everything easier for us there. Yeah, well, who's over there? You guys are just watching me people watch. So you guys are people watching me people watch, and this is absolutely incredible. How is that?
Great. Great. Cool. I don't feel lost. I think that. Okay. I think that was just Chris Cannony. What gave that away?
You can smell the hatred for Joe Burrow.
Oh, there is that too. But if you're new to the channel, hit that like.
He's just the biggest dude in the room.
So we're still live here, and I apologize. Apologize for that too. But we're live here, and we're kind of letting things roll, letting things play out. There's a lot of people here. It's really great to see how this continues to evolve. And so far, if you guys missed the program earlier, go back and check it out. Started off having Brian Billick to start the day, promoting X-Tech pads. That's a new shoulder pads and equipment to help the next generation. And also then Brian I could listen to him talk not only about the player and safety regulations or how they're trying to improve it, but then on top of it for Brian, him just talking about how teams work together, the storylines between how do you motivate certain guys, what makes certain teams from good to great. I love all that. I mean, I can get really giddy and all fired up about that. I am getting fired up about that. Had a brief moment with Jack Settleman, which we got to get Jack back to kind of
actually talk,
to shoot the shit. And we're going to go over there and challenge Jack to some trivia. Then we'll come back also, and we should challenge him to some gridiron golf. And then what else we got moving and grooving? Shawn Merriman's going to join us here in about 30 minutes. So it'll be great to see Shawn, friend of the show, friend of the program. He's got a ton going on, especially with Lights Out TV. The dude is rocking and rolling. And also my goal here for everyone here is to go through as many mints as possible. And maybe when we get here, maybe Zach, after you get set up, I might need your laptop so I can see what's going on at least. So I can maybe interact with the chat a little about some questions. I know there was a giant NBA trade apparently. Maybe. Zach, I don't know. Did you hear this?
Today?
Yeah, it might have been.
Is it Kyle Kuzma.
Yeah. Yeah. Chris Middleton. And the Orioles made a move that's going to help them win the World Series yesterday.
Yeah.
You know what's funny with that? We'll save some baseball chatter for later, but we have been talking about baseball here a lot more than I thought. Initially, with people coming up and saying, "Hey, love the show, can't wait for baseball season. What's going on with the Orioles?" Well, we'll find out here in a few months. You know, spring training kicks off, and we're definitely going to see more and more of those updates, and we'll have plenty of baseball conversations. Excuse me. Hell, we might have plenty of those baseball conversations here throughout the week here. Man. Oh. Shirts and pants. But I'm feeling good. Feeling great. Feeling great. Zach's getting the third camera so you guys can see his ugly mug. I really thought that maybe we were going to have some bad luck again, Zach, when your energy drink popped this morning, wasn't working. We were going to maybe have another power issue, but things have been off to a great start. Got to see Brian Billick, just great. Charlie Batch, I got to tell you, man, truly the backup quarterbacks are people that have had this long tenure, and it makes sense. If you're with an organization or you're in a place in the NFL for a long time, you're going to see and hear a lot of things. The Todd Monken connection with Charlie Batch is incredible. Also shows you the journey that Todd Monken had to get to where he's at. And we got to hear some Todd Monken stories here upcoming. We also know there are some more other Maryland or Baltimore Raven-esque related people. So excited about that. That's not Brian Kelly, is it? Football coach behind in the middle? No. He wouldn't be here, would he? Maybe.
Mike Smith's here, though.
Can you couldn't people can hear you.
Mike Smith is here, though, former coach of the Falcons.
Yeah, that him and Billick were together. That's what it was, yeah. And then when you can, I would love your laptop. So I would love to interact more with the chat. And I apologize. I'll try to pull it up on my phone. It's sometimes just hard to navigate, hard to see. But let's see if I can, because I would love to hear what you guys are thinking and what's going on. Oh, here we go. Whammy. Oh, wow. Something just got me going, Zach. Might need to grab my water to help get me back on track. Trying to load up the show on my phone, so I appreciate you guys. We're live here, Radio Row, on a beautiful Wednesday here down in New Orleans. And honestly, for the first time being down here, still no expectations, but the thing that I am expecting is continuing to meet some great people. And we've met some fantastic people here along the way, and it has been a absolute pleasure and joy. And okay, so Middleton is going to the Wizards. That's what it was. It was Kuzma, which I don't know why I just didn't make that connection initially that Kuzma was on the Wizards, because I saw a Wizards game earlier this year, and I saw him. I don't think he was playing, but I literally saw him. So yes, and then I tuned in just to see Brooks ask if you could sign his chest.
Me?
Yes, you.
Yeah, I got you, Brooks.
Perfect. But everyone here, appreciate you. And Brady, appreciate you. And guys, if you're new to the channel, hit that like and subscribe button. Man, screeching, Zach.
Yeah, I know.
All's good, though. As long as do not – oh, okay, we're good. Camera's good. I think that one's got a very, very sensitive. I'm not as delirious today, but I kind of like Delirious Ryan last night. I was feeling some type of way. I was popping a lot of bubbly and not alcoholic, actual bubbly, because we got free lime bubbly over there at the media party. And yesterday was, in some cases, a very unique day, but we're past that, move forward, and we're having a great time here. Definitely want to check in on our friends over there in El Paso. I think we've talked up ESPN El Paso enough. We gotta have some of them on at some point, so people get to meet some of the other great people here.
I think we're finally
Are you live? Are you good?
Yeah, we're looking good, people. We're up. We're back. Yeah, we're back, right?
I mean, I see me. Am I delayed? Oh, it's because I'm delayed
Yeah,
watching.
Yeah, you're going to be slightly delayed. So,
Oh, there you are. Wow, you look.
yeah, it's up close, but this is what we're doing.
You actually somewhat look official.
I know. I got the media badge.
Well, the reason I say that is because usually when we talk about a standard, like my outfit typically is wearing a black shirt or some sort of collar or something like that. And in this case, I'm back wearing what I usually wear. You are not wearing what you usually wear. You got a brand new hat.
Yeah, new
you
hat.
got a zip up 3/4.
Quarter zip. I mean,
Is
the
it a
zip.
quarter zip?
Yeah, zip up 3/4 is not what it's.
I think it's all the same thing. It's all relative.
Kids don't call it that. Kids. Don't
What do
call
the
it
kids call it, Zach?
that. Quarter zip?
Okay.
You know.
Since we got a little bit of time, also, do we just talk about the situation here with the Orioles? I'm gonna yell at Dan for a second.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Dan, I'll message. We're back finally, so I'll message you. We're
back, baby.
Beautiful. Yeah, we're gonna get our guys from Front Office Sports rocking and rolling. So I will. That's the other one I'll get for us because it'd be great to talk with them. And for those that don't know Front Office Sports, they are covering everything, not only just on the sports side, but the business side of sports. And specifically, there are a lot of things around the NFL, baseball, the NBA, and where the game's heading, and even, other storylines like, the gambling perspective here, Zach. I mean, that was one story in combination that we talked about with why am I losing my train of thought? With Pat Hoberg, the umpire.
I just need the crowd to see behind us.
Why? What do we got? Oh, yeah.
We got the diehard Eagles fans are
here.
So had to zoom out real quick to get that. But anyway.
I forgot my face paint today. Tomorrow I'll bring it back.
This guy,
amazing.
I love this guy. This guy's got me fired up over there.
Amazing. We are having a good time. We're relaxing, but forgot what I was initially saying. We got distracted.
We got very distracted. I'm still distracted.
Well, I mean, now I'm distracted because you got distracted. But to be honest, it was a good distraction.
It was a fantastic distraction.
And you know what? I've seen him before. The Eagles.
Yeah,
fan.
he's always
on
TV.
On. Yeah. And what's the guy Gilly doing the blow the whistle?
Yeah,
dances?
Where is Kid Gilly not here?
I really want to learn the dance, and I love that song.
Blow the whistle.
I go on and on. Can't understand why it lasts so long. You wouldn't even know anything about that, Zach. Hold on, I got to take a call real quickly. Thank you.
You do that. Actually, funny enough, Brooks, my girlfriend was the one who picked this out for me. So, shout out Molly. She's the one who hooked me up, making me look professional.
We have one that will come after.
Ryan's taking a phone call right now. I don't know who he's talking to. Sometimes he just be hopping on phones. I don't know. He just be keeping secrets. Josina Anderson's thing is empty right now. She was over there for a while yesterday, but I'm not sure what she's up to.
Perfect. So we will. We have.
Can you guys hear Ryan just?
Kyle Turley.
Okay, Brooks, the camera view too. I wanted to get my FaceTime. Somebody's got to put me on. So here we are. Brad should be here probably within the next hour and a half. I'd assume he'd be here probably closer to noonish. So once that happens, oh, don't worry, don't you worry. I will be. We will be. Ryan just told this person that he can't talk much because we're live right now while he's seriously sitting on the phone. I think we threw out the whole, we're live, we're doing a show thing. We're just kind of talking. Killing time until Shawn Merriman. Has he landed? Camera ad Sempan. Joe, fuck you. Has he landed now? He hasn't. He'll, I guess I should say noon by our time, noon. So it's only 10:25 here. I think he'll land 11-ish. And then probably head on here. there is a significant buzz happening behind me, and I'm starting to think Pat McAfee or some of his people are going to be there. Yeah, there's a massive crowd. So, I don't know who's back there, but somebody's back there, and they're holding something. People are taking pictures with something, and I don't know what it is, but I want my picture with it. You ever just get like that? It's kind of what happened with the alligator last night. Like, I was not about to be holding that alligator, but then other people were taking pictures holding the alligator, and I was like, fuck it, I'll hold the alligator. So I'm just not great, I guess. Maybe it's peer pressure that I struggle with the most. It's not even peer pressure. It's just simply I just see a group of people wanting to take a picture with something, and I'm like, I want to take a picture with it. Now I'm just talking about how people are taking pictures back there, and I kind of want to know why they're taking pictures.
Well, on the outskirts of things, by the way, is usually it's more of the Super Bowl partners, right? So those groups around. So you got ESPN, you got FanDuel, Sirius XM, CBS Sports Radio. So
Pat McAfee.
Well, that's ESPN now, technically.
Oh yeah, I guess
because it has the ESPN on top of it.
I always forget that there.
You do?
Well, it's because I only watch on YouTube, I feel like. So
that's a good point. I forget about that. For those that missed, we had a great end of the day yesterday, by the way. And last night we talked about it. We got a picture with a gator.
Oh, yeah.
And the hand placement was not our choosing. That's where they told us.
It was handed to us that way.
With
you don't get to pick the way you hold the gator.
I mean, no, not with them. I think technically we should ask Ben McDonald proper way to tame a gator. And Ben actually responded to me. So I asked Ben, I'm like, I need a full Louisiana experience down here.
What did he say?
And he gave me some recommendations.
I love it.
He gave me one. This one is a must, probably his favorite. Real stuff. Let me get some other thoughts together. I love this, man.
I love this.
Ben is fantastic. So cannot wait. Great.
I'm just honestly hoping that people walk by, because when we were, I don't know if you heard me talking, but during Brian Billick thing, Trey Wingo walked by.
Oh yeah, Trey was doing some work over there.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Well, I was hoping he would somebody would walk by again, and we could try to grab someone.
Yeah, and I'll kind of how it will be, and also for the record, I was just talking to Larry, who's also here joining us with his table and his group out there. He's going to join after we have the interview with Shawne. Might take a quick break.
Yeah, we're going to take a break
because he's going to do an interview because we're in a little bit of shared space here and having a good time and relaxing and hanging out. So we'll do that. We'll hang out. Shawne's joining us.
That's Dennis Pitt up behind us.
Oh, nice. Great.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah, everyone, they're all around out and about. Yeah. They're
Oh, he's with Chad Steele.
Yeah. Well, and we talked to I don't want to bother right now because I told we're going to meet up with Chad later. And so I think that they have from what I understood, they had something in the next 10 minutes. So, but maybe it'd be great to have Dennis or Todd.
Yeah, I was going to say, I didn't realize Dennis was here.
Yeah, it's Dennis and Todd Heap. You didn't recognize the other guy? It's Todd Heap.
Is that Todd Heap with the beard?
No, the one with the hat, the white hat.
Oh, I was looking at the guy with the backwards. I was like, that is not Todd Heap. Damn. What an opportunity. Yeah, okay, when they walk back here.
Well, it's because they're going. That's where they're going right now.
Well, I know they're going to their. Yeah, they're going to their event. Are they going to talk? Is that no? Never mind. Yeah, if they walk back this way, we're gonna have to say something.
Yeah, next time I'll just yell at Chad. But we talked earlier, and we're gonna try to talk about a few other things. Chad Steele with the Baltimore Ravens. He's amazing. The thing that people don't know, we were still having trouble with the audio with Chad with his interview. I got to tell you, of all the interviews that we've had,
my favorite.
Chad Steele's might have been.
That's why it sucks so much that we lost it.
Yeah, and we've been trying to get it back. Oh my goodness, it was amazing. And if you were a Ravens fan for that 2012 season, there was a great story. But Chad's upbringing in itself, and what he has done and what he's accomplished, and just where he's bounced around to was really fascinating. And also that Tim Duncan, he's got a connection with Tim Duncan, which is phenomenal. So we'll definitely will. But if you're new to the channel, hit that like and subscribe button. Ryan Ripken Show is 10:30. We're hanging out here at Radio Row, getting you ready, having a good time. I almost thought about just getting the gridiron golf out to start putting, but maybe I'll wait to do that in a few minutes. Would you like a mint, Altoid?
Yeah, toss them Altoids.
Oh, you want me to toss it? Or
Or
no?
just I was gonna say just pass them. Pass the toys.
I think I like the icebreakers more, but
Yeah.
Altoids are very solid. Amazing.
Dennis Pitta looks like he is 26 years old.
He looks good.
He looks incredible.
He looks really good. I'm jealous.
I can't say anything for Todd Heap. I didn't even see him, but
That was kind of messed up.
yeah, I know that was messed up. I was too concerned on the guy with the backwards hat with the nice beard. Pitta looks like he is in incredible shape. I'm sure the hip's not feeling great, but
Yeah.
Like-
I would love if we do sit down, I'd love to know just the body after playing. 'Cause, I mean,
Yeah.
he was such an integral part when he was able to play for the Ravens.
oh my
man.
god,
So much fun.
they're safety blanket. Like people refer to Mark Andrews as a safety blanket.
Yeah.
Like Jaden Daniels is here today.
Oh, he is?
There's a massive sign, special guest Jaden Daniels today. Oh, it's on the Golick show.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so they have Jalen Milrow and Jaden Daniels. I'm gonna have to.
Sorry, I'm networking again here. So
yeah, you
for
do
people,
you do your.
it's not
thing.
our normal show where we have all the topics. I know we do need to talk a little bit about the Orioles. I know people have asked me about that with Laureano coming to the Laureano
Yeah.
coming to the Orioles, and we can touch base on some of those things because I do think it's important to talk about. And I actually really like the move. I think it's solid. I know everyone goes, Ryan, you like every move. I like to actually just look at what they can bring. I don't like to sit here and go, well, it's terrible. And I don't think it's terrible. I think we have to look at it objectively. I think that's the biggest part you got to look at, and what he does well that could help. This isn't the splash move, and you're not expecting him to play 100 and some games, but could he go out there and do that? Sure. Also, for me, Zach, and we'll save it for different times, but maybe that means that there's some other issues that are happening with the Baltimore Orioles. That's one thing you do worry about, because it's either saying you want depth, or if you're not having depth, it means something else. It might be a priority need because of injuries. We saw that last year with Bradish. Everyone was excited when they traded for Corbin, not realizing that Kyle Bradish was going to be injured to start the season. So it's definitely a situation here.
Yeah, and Rick, real fast, we've been live for what, about a little over an hour now? Hour 23 minutes actually. We've been live for an hour 23 minutes, and already had on Brian Billick and Charlie Batch, Jack Settleman, I guess, if you want to consider that.
Jack Settleman on as well for a brief moment.
While Jack Settleman showed up as well, so we'll reconnect with him. Shawn Merriman's about to come on in a few.
And we're also going to have Kyle Turley, former offensive lineman, and them promoting the Sierra Delta. So we're going to sit down and talk about what they're focusing on, and also just talking about, I always love the stories behind the stories. As we continue to grow, that's what I love. I love talking to people. And it was a great example when you had a guy like Charlie Batch that came on, who, one, is doing some tremendous things for the community, but two, the dude's got stories, and he's got Todd Monken stories that we need to know.
He's got the gold.
But in general, it is filled up. It has been a great day.
Is that Joey Molnar?
Joey, hey man.
I know you're running around. Yeah, I just got to run to FanDuel and then got Matthew. How long are you here?
We're here all day.
All day?
You look good.
Thanks, brother. Yeah,
Great. We actually, Steelers legend, Charlie Batch.
Yeah, just was on.
Shit, I looked over and saw him. I didn't realize it was you guys. Good deal. I'm going to hit that.
Go hit that. Just text me.
Cool.
Awesome.
We got Merriman in about 10 minutes, but just text me.
Sick. I just saw him down there. He looks scary as ever.
He is. You and him are identical. So, yeah.
Joey just said he saw Merriman down there and he looks scary as ever. So
Perfect.
but I'm telling you, like,
But that's
this
what
is
happens right there.
This is what happens. Like, we literally are just sitting here, and I was like, Same thing with Dennis Pitt. I was like, wait a second, that's Joey Molinaro.
You know what I like with our spot right now?
We are in, guys, I want you to understand, we are in prime spot right now. We are on the walkway.
Yeah.
Like, you have to walk past us if you're going to anything.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt.
Yeah, we got to talk to Joey.
We should. How you doing? Love all your work. It's amazing.
Appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Oh my gosh, what a legend! This is incredible.
I want to get him. I know he's walking to go do somewhere, but the Super Eagles fan, because you're right, he is all over social media, especially on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
It's phenomenal. Love it. The dedication, the focus, the drive. Should be amazing. And we got Shawn Merriman joining us about 9 minutes. So that'll be great to see Shawn. We got a camera issue. We okay? Just moving around.
Just adjusting.
Adjust, my friend. Adjust. When I move, you move just like that.
I already know I'm gonna have to adjust it again because I'm sure he's gonna be massive.
Yeah, I'm actually curious. I think I got Shawn height-wise, though. But he's got me in everything else.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think we might compare to him height-wise, but
No, height-wise, we got him beat.
yeah,
I mean, I got him beat. You think Shawn's over 6'5" in this economy?
maybe he's like 6'3". We might both have him.
But he beat the shit out of you and me.
Yeah, I was gonna say it.
He's 6'4", though. Woo!
All right, damn.
I'm gonna have to stand. You know what? I'm gonna when you see him, let me know. I'm gonna stand up. I'm gonna puff out my chest, but not as a sign of.
What if he just beat your ass in front of everyone?
I mean, he can.
He could. He very
It's not
easily.
That's not a matter of if. I'd like to think in some other sports I'd be able to compete, but when it comes to boxing and fighting, no, my ass is gonna be killed. Football, no debate there, no doubt at all.
You think you could block him?
Live right now, but love to. Didn't know you guys were down. Yeah, it was great to finally meet.
Yeah, so we're just Shawn Merriman will join in about 5 minutes. It's another day of Ryan shaking hands, kissing babies, kissing hands. You know the deal. You know what Ryan's all about. So yeah, Shawn Merriman should be joining us in the next few minutes. 8 if we stick to a schedule, which I doubt we will. But Shawn Merriman, Joey Molinaro just walked by. Dennis Pitt is down there somewhere. Todd Heap as well. I'm trying to see anyone else. I'm just looking around and I'm like, holy shit, there he is.
We're here all day, here all week.
Not quite. I'm still. McAfee's chair is empty, but he's got another.
Okay.
Camera's diagonal. Yeah, I'm got it.
Glad to meet you in person.
Yeah, the cameras are all a little whacked out right now, so we'll get those adjusted. Appreciate you, Brooks. How was your
So I was with IS Nation with a group that I need to do more with initially, because their big thing is about empowering, but empowering is also giving all that want to learn, from players to coaches, the opportunity in any sport. And they have an app that's actually now launched, where they are going out there constantly and making differences for people. But also, if you want to learn about the game of basketball, football, baseball, I was getting involved in the baseball side to talk about the game, drills for the game, but then also giving updates that coaches, it can help them, but also can give things with players. It's kind of like, I'm not going to say it's an app where it's a one-stop shop for everything, but it's an evolving thing that has the purpose is to help the next generation, help people continue to grow. That's the ultimate goal here. So I'm excited. I got to catch up with them. They are great people. They are great people. Are we still good? We still rocking?
Oh yeah, we're good.
Do. Camera's diagonal a bit. You finished that?
Yeah, that's what I just fixed.
Looking at it right now, doing good. We're hanging in. 5 minutes, we'll have Shawn.
Yeah, hanging out.
Then we can take a quick intermission, because I know Larry is coming over here. He said soon, but we'll see. as we continue to rock and roll. But that's exactly what we're talking about. You just run into people, you make eye contact. So those are Baltimore people too, or one of them is from Baltimore. Yeah. So it's a great group. Really, really fun experience.
Yes. Oh, thank you.
Who's one pager we got?
Shawne.
Never heard of him. I gotta tell him. Nice pick.
Yeah.
Right there.
Incredible.
Also, he's trying to get the fist up right there.
Actually, I think that was his profile picture for a while.
Hey, it's a hot pick. Good pick of Shawne.
Yeah.
Great pick of Shawne.
Yeah, so we are next on his list. She said they're coming over in a sec.
Was that Maddie?
I would assume.
Okay. Cool. That's who I was coordinating with. Well, I was talking to Shawn, but he just said, hey, to make sure everything's in the schedule in the books, can you also make sure Maddie gets it? I go, yeah, absolutely. And Shawn's been great, man. I've loved getting to interact with him and talk with him. He's been great. There's more people walking down. I can't figure out.
Oh, that's Jalen Milrow.
Oh. You ever heard of him?
Yeah, so Jalen Milrow is walking in the back right now. Roll Tide. Oh, Joe, do you want to roll Tide?
Joe is a big fan of the Tides.
Let me try to zoomed out. There's Jalen walking. Oh, trying to do this uncoordinated is very difficult.
Yeah, how's that going for you?
You know, honestly, it could be worse. It genuinely could have been worse.
You know what I was realizing? I know I can have it. I'll tuck this on there for the interview part.
Yeah, that's probably best.
Do I look better now? Do I
wouldn't
look
say
put
better.
together?
I wouldn't say better.
I don't know. I got told I was charismatic.
By who?
By you.
When?
Must have been when I was delirious. You don't think I'm charismatic? Oh, you got to.
I do. Should be so psyched that we just saw you.
And Devin's blowing up my phone about something. I said, hey, buddy, I can't really talk right now. I'm a little busy.
Oh, and here he comes. To your left.
My left.
Right.
My right. Hard to miss. Okay, well, I got to see on the height side real quick.
What's up, bro?
So you got you beat barely.
I don't barely. It's
He got on heels too.
Sit down. We're going through this right now because it says that you're 6'4". So we're sitting down, and everyone knows who you are, but I'll introduce you again. Got Shawn Merriman joining us, former All-Pro, Lights Out Extreme Fighting, Lights Out TV. Congrats, by the way,
Thank
on
you,
everything.
man. Appreciate it.
And slightly shorter than Ryan Ripken, as we figured out.
Yeah, well, you got the shoes. You got
shoes.
pads under your shoes.
Hey,
So.
Shawn, we were talking about it, though. Well, the reason why I brought that up, I mean, you'll kick my ass and about everything else. I was to say, this is a good profile picture of you, by the way.
Yeah,
You're
man.
looking
You know,
good.
I didn't Photoshop that one, which is pretty cool.
I mean, are you photoshopping a lot of things nowadays?
I mean, I got to fit in with everybody else in this.
Dude, I don't think you got to
That's
fit in. You're looking good.
yeah, I was gonna say it might be a little hard for you to fit in this.
Yeah,
Actually, with
yeah,
the
you're probably right.
yeah,
I didn't tell you either, Zach, but even for Shawn, when you came back to the DC region, you're working out at the gym that I work out at. Because then
That's
all of a
right.
sudden, so my fiance Jamie sends me a message. He goes, "Wait a minute." He goes, "Is this the Shawn, like your Shawn?" I'm like, "Well, I mean, I guess that's my Shawn," but he goes, "That's our gym." And I go, there he was. You just were kicking ass, man.
Yeah, man. That's for me. That's like my anchor. That's how I stay. Yeah, I travel. I'm on the plane 5 days. Every 5 days I'm on the plane. It's when I get there, wherever I'm at, I go straight to the gym and I find something that I can, get a good workout in.
Yeah, you stay busy. You stay grinding. And by the way, everything's going great. Lights Out Extreme Fighting. So talk a little bit about everything's going. Now you got Lights Out Sports TV. There we go. Said it correctly. Talk to us about everything that's going on recently.
Yeah, man. So we got a big fight Friday. Lights Out Extreme Fighting 22 Miami May organization. We got 10 fights lined up for the night, and this card is just ridiculous. We got Ryan Lilly on there, Tony Cortez. Some of these guys. We sent 7 guys to the UFC last year.
Yeah,
7. And that was the whole reason why I got in this sport, man. We love being able to send these guys to the UFC and kind of grow our talent. And then they go off, and then it'll be live on Lights Out Sports TV, which is my new free ad-supported streaming service that you guys can download on any smart TV, iOS, Android. completely free. But we got so many free live sports on there, like over 300 sports movies and documentaries, and 17 different live sports. And now the Lights Out Sports TV is live on Lights Out Sports. Lights Out Extreme Fight is live on Lights Out Sports TV.
And so for again, Lights Out Extreme Fighting 22. That's Friday, February 7th.
Yep, Long Beach, California.
Long Beach, California. Don't you forget it, man. You were traveling everywhere. You weren't kidding. So you're here, then you're leaving.
Yeah.
Going to be back out there. What's it kind of been like in, creating a business? I mean, obviously, I've talked to you about the football side.
Yeah.
But you're a grinder. And I know you still have that mentality where I'm not going to say that people doubt you, but you have a product, and the idea that you just mentioned, you're bringing live sports to everyone. You wanted to create something in the fighting space that you knew would be successful. What's been the ups and downs for it, or what have you seen that's really helped you progress over the last year?
I think one of the things you said, man, and there's so much competition out there in certain different things, and I always try to build things where we're not competing with anybody, we're creating.
Yeah.
Right. We just had the 100th annual East West Shrine Bowl practices exclusively on Lights Out Sports TV. There's only 2 All-Star games in college football. There's the Senior Bowl and then the East West Shrine Bowl. We had to practice for one of them. And we've only been around 8 months. So,
right.
If I'm able to, put things together like that, what are we going to look like next year? This time. And I wanted to create something that was like a hub for all sports, because I've been in NASCAR. I own the NASCAR team in the Canyon Series, and I wrestle with TNA Wrestling. I wrestle with WWE. So we got TNA Wrestling on there. So we do all these categories in different sports, man. And, right now we're the fastest growing free ad-supported all sports streaming service in the world.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think everywhere I look, I'm seeing you pop up. I mean, not all like literally Lights Out, but then literally your face is popping up everywhere. Maybe it's because I follow you, and then you like to chirp back at everyone, especially when it comes to the Raiders and they're feeling good.
Yeah.
Pete Carroll got signed. I think one of the recent ones I saw there, you're like, man, it's a good set. Let them feel good for right now. You're a troll, man, but I love it.
Dude, you know what? God blessed me and didn't bless me with social media back in the day, dude. I would have been a demon on social media.
You still are. Well, yeah.
I would have been so, because can you imagine me having a 3-sack game and having social media?
Oh
I would be tweeting walking off the field. Like you and I would have to walk the games with a bulletproof vest on because I would be on everybody, So like I said, I was blessed, but then I think God did it on purpose because he didn't want me to have social media back when I played.
I think it's at the right time now because I think, hey, you're able to promote, get your word out there. But when you were playing, man, if you weren't on my team, man, I'd be pissed off. Well, actually, I love you, so I'd probably be like, damn, this guy's a dog. I want him on my squad, but goodness gracious, man. Yeah, you hold nothing back.
Yeah,
which makes you, by the way.
Yeah, it was. I tried, man. I tried to tame it down and do a thing that just feels so weird. And it's just not me. But also, too, even I do go back and forth with Raider fans or other team fan bases. Dude, when they come to the games, we playing, Chargers playing Denver, I'll spend 15, 20 minutes out in the parking lot with Denver fans. And maybe some of the people who I actually went back and forth with on social media, just, talking back and forth, taking pictures, being at the tailgates, inviting them out, man. I think fans are one of the most overlooked thing about what we do, right?
Yeah.
Like listening right now and going to the games, they buy jerseys, they buy we overlook the reason why we do this, right? And so that's why I honestly like going back and forth so much with the fan because they don't want to admit it, but they like it.
They love it.
I see them and I acknowledge them, and no matter what I say to them, it's like I responded back and they got me to respond. They love that.
And usually, if they even talk some shit to you, and then you respond to them like, "Man, I didn't think you would respond to me. This is cool." And then even if you just absolutely roast them, which you usually do, they love that part of it.
Yeah.
And you mentioned the fans. I went to the Buffalo game, Ravens Buffalo. Dude, the tailgating and the people. Talk about the fans because
Yes.
I even said that, and we joked around a little bit because it didn't feel like we were public enemy number one. Because everyone was looking at the Chiefs. It was, hey, if the Ravens or Bills, I said, we just agree on something. And they're like, oh, hey, screw the Chiefs. But then I sat to them. They go, hey, honestly, we don't have anything against the Chiefs. We love everything. We love the experience. And I go, man, this is why I've heard so many great things about the Bills Mafia. Because I'm up there. I got to show you some photos. I went to the Pinto tailgate where they got
Mustard and hot, ketchup.
So Pinto Ron's name's Kenny. But then Pizza Pete, where I'm eating out of the filing cabinet. They're the greatest people. And they're sitting here going, hey, we just want everyone that comes to have the experience. And I said, dude, you just mentioned it. The fans make the experience at the end of the day. The team winning is awesome, but it's the group of people that care that make everything go around.
So we launched a 60-minute live tailgating show on my network on Lights Out Sports TV with the Chargers and the Bills last year.
Yeah.
So much like a college game day feel, you're out there. 3 former players to every team. It's still on Lights Out Sports TV, so if you guys haven't seen it, check it out. But you get a chance to be as close as possible to the fans. You see the camaraderie and like all of them coming together. Like,
yeah.
And so the reason why I created that show is because I know that certain fans can't be there.
Yeah.
Maybe not have the money to go to a game, but they want to be a part of that tailgate experience. Maybe got families stationed in another country that can't go to that tailgate. So now with the Lights Out Sports TV and then the Ultimate Fans on the show, you can watch this tailgate up close wherever you are in the world.
Yeah.
And so like that to me, like the fans make this whole thing go. And without them, man, we just really don't have much.
No, we don't. It makes everything happen. And even the good and the bad and the ugly, even the case the Ravens lost to Buffalo was woof. It was tough. It was tough for the program, but I wouldn't trade it for anything. Going up there, seeing the game, the snow, the experience. I needed a detox for about 2-3 weeks. I'm still kind of struggling, Shawn. Maybe a little bit too much tequila, best for a different time. I love that you care so much about the communities. And also when the time comes again, you back in Maryland, you were helping out with, was the coat drive too back in there. So for those that don't know Shawn's just a good dude. Don't let him fool you that he's still massive individual that'll actually probably kick your ass.
And then call you out on social media.
But also, man, he's a fun-loving guy. You know, it looked like also, I got to say, how did you like the Los Angeles Ravens this year overall?
You mean the Ravens of the West Coast?
Yeah.
Hey, look, people joke about that. Thank you. I mean, I want to tell the Ravens, Steve Bouchard, all you guys out there, man. You guys are great. I mean, you sent the best. And it's what's good is that nucleus, that chemistry, that attitude came out there.
Yeah,
we felt it.
Yeah.
It was a different feeling in that organization. It was a different feeling in that building this year. And Joe Ortiz, man, like, you know what I love talking. I talked to him before the games. It's like talking to a player.
I love that.
It's like talking to a player, man, because he doesn't feel like a GM when you talk to him. You talk to him like he's about to get up and go put a helmet on.
Yeah,
that's the feeling you get from him. So I got all the confidence in the world, man. Just with those guys out there in the direction the organization's going, I think the Chargers fans should feel great.
Yeah, and I love Jim Harbaugh too. And we're talking about building a culture. We had Brian Billick on earlier, Charlie Batch being with the Steelers for a decade, and talking about with Tomlin and Cowher. I think Jim Harbaugh's in that conversation at the same time of, hey, you could say he can be quirky. The dudes love him, man, and there's an energy to it that's exciting. I was hoping for a better result for you guys in the postseason, but you know it's bright. I mean, even seeing like the reemergence for Quentin Johnston, like guys like that, I'm happy to see. But it also came with the shakeup of the leadership.
Yeah,
and that's
but I try to remind people this: they won 5 games last year.
Yeah,
they won 5 games. This same team, and maybe less because Mike Williams left.
Yeah,
they won. Just look for them to go deep in the playoffs next year, and then hopefully with these next 3 or 4 years get a ring.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, Shawn, you got to keep bopping around before you fly out to Long Beach for Lights Out Extreme Fighting 22.
Yep.
Anything else before we let you go?
That's it, man. Make sure you guys download Lights Out Sports TV, free ad-supported platform, available on every smart TV device out there, iOS, Android. We've got a ton of live free sports in there.
Perfect. And then Shawn's going to get me on his workout program so we can look identical.
We got to go back to the gym. So when I
you
come
want
home,
to?
let's do
okay.
it. Let's do it. I'm in.
All right. Appreciate you, Shawn. Thank you.
Awesome. Appreciate it.
Got it, bro. Appreciate it. Check in with you, but safe travel.
Okay.
Are you flying out tonight?
Yeah. We got the weigh-ins tomorrow and then the fight on Friday. Yeah, a little bit.
Well, when you're back
no deal. I'll be back.
Anything I can help with too.
I'll be back in a few weeks.
So,
get that jump for sure.
Yeah, I'd love to.
That's gonna. That was Shawn Merriman. Just one of the best dudes you will genuinely ever meet, and obviously do not let looks deceive you. He does look like he can squish you like a bug, but he is the nicest dude ever. Unless you're a Raiders fan.
But you know what I love is the talking about the experience and what makes things happen, and he gets it. And that's why Lights Out is continuing to grow as fast as they are. He was looking at, okay, how can I make something for other people to go and enjoy and be a part of? Lights Out TV does that, and then they got the Extreme Fighting. It's already 22. If you think about the first time we had Shawne on, they just were starting this. So it's crazy to believe this whole situation. Truly crazy
It
to
is.
see. So if you guys are new to the channel, hit that like and subscribe button, man. It's been a great day so far. We got
Great
a lot.
morning. We got here at 8 a.m. It's about
Still the morning. Yeah.
Okay, I'm looking at your clock, what is not switched yet, and it's 11:55. So I got to keep reminding myself that that's not the correct time.
It isn't. And I know that Larry is. I don't know where Larry is.
Larry
but he'll
just
be back.
actually literally was just walked right past us.
He did. Okay.
Yeah, he came over and I shook his hand.
Oh, he did. So we should. We'll give him a little time here. We'll regroup.
Yeah.
We're to go live again at 11:45. We got Kyle Turley, I think, joining us then. I'm going to make sure I got to talk with
11:45.
11:45.
All right, so 12:45 your guys' time. 11:45 Central. 12:45 Eastern.
I'm going to check on that real quickly. Do. All right. Any other thoughts, concerns, issues?
No, I think we will be back in about an hour? A little less than an hour. Laura said 50 minutes.
I might get the gridiron golf out, get some putts going at the same time.
So,
Maybe go check in on Jack Settlement, see what's going on.
Yeah, we're gonna go make our rounds a little bit. Maybe shake a few hands, kiss a few babies. Actually, I don't think babies are allowed here, so we'll see what happens there. But,
and we will try to maybe even put up some of the clips that we just had.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm going to. That's what
stream it, clip it, put it up for you guys all to see. We appreciate you guys. Love you. This has been amazing. We got so much more coming your way soon here.
We'll be back soon. Back in about an hour, less than about 11:45 Central Time, 12:45 Eastern Time. So we'll see you back then. But that's gonna do it for this one. We'll be live from Radio Row in about 50 minutes.
Appreciate you guys. See you soon.